Hello and welcome to the Hingham Public Library's Baking Show for Kids. My name is Debbie and I'm going to help you make easy and fun desserts at home. This week we are going to make Snickerdoodle cookies. If you've never heard of Snickerdoodles, it's like a very soft sugar cookie rolled in cinnamon sugar. They are so delicious and they are perfect for a fall after-school snack. For this recipe you will need 2 2/3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 3/4 cups of sugar, and 2 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 1/2 tablespoons of light corn syrup, 2 eggs, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You will also need an additional 1/3 cup of sugar plus 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. The first thing you are going to want to do, if you haven't already, is wash your hands. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Okay, we're going to start with our dry ingredients. In a medium bowl, you're going to put your 2 2/3 cups of flour, your 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, your teaspoon of baking soda, and your 1/2 teaspoon of salt. With a whisk, mix them all up until all of your dry ingredients are well combined. And now you're going to set this aside. Okay, in a large bowl, you're going to mix your sugar, which is 1 3/4 cups, and your 2 sticks of butter. The recipe calls for unsalted butter, but if all you have on hand is salted butter, this is a recipe where it should be fine either way. Okay, and you're also going to want to add your 1 1/2 tablespoons of light corn syrup. Okay, so now we're going to take all these ingredients and we're going to mix them up with an electric mixer. Let's get this plugged in. All right. And start with the mixer on low so that you don't have your ingredients flying all over the place. And you're going to want to keep mixing until your sugar and your butter and your corn syrup are all combined well together. Okay, so you can see we've got a light and fluffy mixture. Now we're going to add our eggs and our vanilla. We've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 2 eggs. Now, if you want to practice with cracking eggs, you should do them one at a time in a separate bowl just in case you end up with some shells. And you want to tap it on the side and then crack it into the bowl. And once you're sure that there's no shells, you can add 1 egg at a time into your bowl. All right, we're gonna mix again. Now you're going to want to just take a spatula, just go around the edges just to make sure you've gotten everything mixed well and nothing's sticking to the edges that haven't gotten mixed in. All right, we're going to put that over here. Now you've got a nice smooth looking mixture. All right, now we're going to add our flour and baking soda, cream of tartar, and salt mixture. We're gonna do about half of it at once. So after you add about half, you're gonna mix it quickly at low speed. Until it's combined. And then you're gonna take the rest and add the rest and mix it again just until the flour's mixed in. You don't want to over mix it right now. Again, keep your beaters on low until you've got it mixed in so it's not flying all over the place. It's going to be pretty thick at this point. You can see this is what your dough is going to look like now. So I'm going to give it one more turn with the spatula. And then we are going to let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes just to firm up a little bit before we roll it into balls. All right. Okay, so we'll set this aside over here. And I think we're done with our mixer now. So we can set these in the sink. Okay, now while this is sitting for 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to show you what we're going to do for our cookie sheet. You have 2 options with your cookie sheet. The first thing you can do is to use some kind of nonstick spray, and you can spray your cookie sheet lightly. What I prefer to use is parchment paper because parchment paper is less messy and it can slide right off the cookie sheet onto your baking rack. So I'm going to line my cookie sheet with a piece of parchment paper. And we'll set that aside. Okay, once 5 to 10 minutes have passed, we're going to start rolling our dough. Now, along the side, you should have an extra 1/3 cup of sugar plus 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm going to take a little whisk and mix these together. And if you end up running out of cinnamon and sugar, you can just make up a little bit more. But the recipe has us using a 1/3 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay, see? So we're all ready. Okay, another piece of equipment for the kitchen that you don't need, but which is so handy, is a spring-loaded scoop. This one is about 1 3/4 inches across, and it just makes rolling cookies so much easier. So what you can do is you can take it and push it up against the side of your bowl, and it gives you a nice even scoop, which you can then roll in a ball, and you're gonna cover that ball in the cinnamon sugar mixture. So what you end up with is a cinnamon sugar covered ball of dough, and you're gonna put that onto your cookie sheet. And we're gonna continue rolling. And so in case you don't have one of these spring-loaded scoops, this is about how big you're gonna wanna make your balls of dough. All right, and it also helps, which I don't have out, but it also helps to have a spoon, because then you can kind of move the cinnamon and sugar all around each ball of dough before you put it onto the cookie sheet. And we're just going to continue on until we have 12 balls of dough. Okay, well, after I started putting these on, I realized that probably 9 cookies is probably safer than 12, because these actually spread kind of a lot when they're cooking. So if you have a smaller cookie sheet than I do, I have a pretty big cookie sheet. This pretty much takes up my whole oven. But if you have a smaller cookie sheet, start with less cookies at a time, and just make sure you have some space around them, so when they spread out, they're not going to run into each other in the oven. All right, so once you've got a cookie sheet full, we're going to put these in the oven, and we're going to bake them for 8 to 10 minutes. Oh, my oven is not quite preheated, so we're going to wait another minute. Altogether, when you're finished doing all the balls and all the dough, you should have about 30 to 33 cookies, just to give you an idea of how much this makes. And we have 25 more degrees to go on the oven. And then we will be all set. And while we're waiting for that, let me take a minute to show you the cookbook that this recipe comes from. It is from the All-American Cookie Book. The author is Nancy Baguette, and the Hingham Public Library actually has this book in our collection, so you can borrow it if you'd like. It is the best recipe for snickerdoodles that I've ever had, and I own this cookbook, but it is totally worth checking this cookbook out at the library too, because there are so many good recipes. Alrighty. Still a couple more seconds waiting for our oven. Maybe we'll start making a few more cookies. Oh, that's the sound of the oven, that it's ready. So let me get this one more together, and then we will get these into the oven. All right. So I am going to set the timer for 8 minutes, and we're going to check them and see what they look like after 8 minutes. And the description in the cookbook says you want to cook them until they're just light golden brown at the edges, and that's a really good description. You don't want to cook these too long, because you still want them to be nice and chewy when you bite into them. Okay, I checked the cookies at 8 minutes and they weren't quite done. And now the timer is about to go off at 10 minutes, and we're going to check them again. I think that they are perfect. You can see they're a little bit brown right around the edges, but they're still puffy and soft in the middle. And now I will put my other batches in, and just so you know, I did 2 more large cookie sheets, and then I had enough for 1 small cookie sheet. And on the small cookie sheet, I only fit 6 cookies. So if you have smaller cookie sheets, probably 6 is the right number. I'm going to throw these in for the next batch. It's definitely worth checking at 8 minutes because sometimes every oven's different, and if your oven cooks quickly, you're not going to want them to overcook. So let them cool on the cookie sheet with a wire rack underneath for a couple minutes, just so that they can settle a little bit. And altogether, this recipe made just about what I thought it would. It was 33 cookies altogether. So I had 3 cookie sheets of 9 cookies plus 6 more, which is 27 plus 6 is 33 cookies. And let's see here, I'm gonna get another wire rack to set them on to cool. And let's see. As long as they come off the cookie sheet without like crumpling up, that means they've cooled enough for you to transfer them onto a rack. You are gonna love the way your house smells when these are cooking. The cinnamon makes your whole house smell yummy. All right, be very careful with the hot cookie sheets. All right, so I've got my first batch right here onto a rack for cooling. And what do you think? Should we taste one? Looks good. Mmm, yummy. These are such delicious cookies. Everyone is going to want to ask for the recipe after you make these. Yum. Delicious. I think I might even need to get a cold glass of milk to go with that cookie. I hope you've enjoyed making these yummy snickerdoodles with me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.